Whee! Hello you wonderful people and welcome to Unravelled, where we take gorgeous geekery and turn it into questionable crafts. How you doing? You doing good? I hope you're doing good. Today we're making Jigglypuff, so let's crochet. Jigglypuff is just a big beach ball of gorgeous fluffy pink marshmallow fluffy stuff. Jigglypuff. Okay, that and Pikachu, the only two I can do. Pikachu! Starting with Jigglypuff's lovely big and chunky body, and his head essentially, because they are the same thing, we double crochet 6 into a magic ring and then continue from there. Hey, why did Jigglypuff go to the gym? To get Jigglypuff. Sorry Kitty, I'm busy. Anyway, Jigglypuff is essentially a lovely pink marshmallow with huge, disturbing eyes, which will give you nightmares, especially when you see the end result. So stick around if you want to see that and give yourself some slight nightmares. So Jigglypuff's body is a sphere and we have double crocheted 6 into a magic ring, and I'm offsetting the increases so that the increases don't create like a weird dodecahedron or octagonal D20 shape. I don't want a D20 shape basically. That's it, that's the whole plan. Do not make accidental Jigglypuff D&D dice. A plan's just a piece of paper where you write down all these things that you really want to do. You're definitely going to do these things. And then you proceed to ignore it for the rest of your life while you play video games instead. As I said, we're doing Jigglypuff's body first, and you can see that offsetting those rows has really made a nice rounded shape instead of being all pointy. So let's jump ahead a little bit. So at this point I have double crocheted 6 into a magic ring. I've then increased every round by 6 stitches so I could get to the size that I wanted, and then once it was at that size, I think it's around 55, 56, 60 stitches, then I can then double crochet straight to start making it into a sphere. And the cat is trying to get back on the table. No. So now I'm starting to decrease so we can get a lovely round sphere. I don't count nearly as much as I should, I just kind of trust the process, and it will go wrong. And I've still not learnt my lesson. Hey, why did Jigglypuff sing? To put you into a sound sleep. Some people have difficulty sleeping, but I can do it with my eyes closed. So Jigglypuff's head and body is looking a little bit like a deflated beanbag, a de-beaned bag if you will. And we just get rid of that. Whoop. Time to break out the forbidden candy floss. No idea where that came from, but I'm going with it. So I like to overstuff my Amigurumi so that they have a good shape, so they really hold the shape, fill out all the cracks and unevenness in my crochet, because there are a lot. That's what happens when you don't count, and you really should. So now it's reminding me a lot of a beach ball, or one of those balls on a paddle, you know, that you do this with. Old school, I know. So now Jigglypuff's been stuffed, it's time to fill in that big old gaping hole in his head, because he needs it like a hole in the head. I'll do this by decreasing 6 times all the way around until the hole is closed. And I always have trouble with this last bit because I'm really paranoid about getting gaps in my crochet, so I try to make it as tight as possible. Hey, what do Jigglypuff do when they're tired? They sing themselves to sleep. So now we need to make all the other appendages that go with Jigglypuff. So we need 2 ears, we need some little puffy arms, and we need some lovely jiggly legs. This is what it all looks like when I'm finished, but for now let's get started on the ears. Jigglypuff's ears are flattened cones, so I double crochet 4 into a magic ring, and then I increase on every round in the same place. So I'm not offsetting the rounds this time, so you will see that it turns out more of a triangle shape, but because we're flattening it, it doesn't really matter. Nothing special here, no colour changes. I will crochet the triangular blacks insides of his ears later and then sew them on. I'm trying to make it really tight here so that I don't get any gaps in the starting ring either, and then just made it really difficult for myself to actually start the crochet. Hey, why did Jigglypuff draw on his foot? Because it had fallen asleep. Okay, not a sleep one this time, so... Hey, what did the Jigglypuff say to the Mr. Mime? Don't act like that. Please, please, please remember to count your work, because otherwise this happens. Luckily it was only 10-20 minutes work tops and 2 seconds of unravelling, so it didn't take me long to get back to where I was. The problem was I'd missed an increase or two and I couldn't exactly just continue and it not look weird, so I had to stop and redo it all. This is the final result. Doesn't look half bad if I do say so myself. I made 2 ears and then got distracted by some puppetry. Not gonna lie, it was kind of fun. Jigglypuff's arms are essentially the same as his ears. We double crochet 4 into a magic ring, except that we increase on alternate rounds instead of on every round. And Jigglypuff's feet are an extension of his arms. So instead of stopping at the halfway point, we then double crochet a couple of rounds and then decrease, alternating decreasing rounds until we get to a point where it's a lovely teardrop and we can close it off. You do have to stuff it before you close it off, and I may or may not have forgotten to do that. I did go back and fix it, it's fine. Okay, this is the last one, I promise. Why did the Jigglypuff end up on a ship? Because he thought the captain said all bands on deck. God. Ooh, watch what I can do. 1 foot, 2 feet. And the last thing on my list is Jigglypuff's lovely little curly Q, and it is safe for work, I promise. It did go a tiny bit wonky because when I was curving the Q, I didn't centre it correctly, so it went a bit askew. And as promised, here are the inside of the ears. So let's spell something with this plushy bet soup. Ta-da! Oh, poop. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. Whether you're a girl, a guy, non-binary, hi, or just passing by, I appreciate you so much, and I'll see you next time for more Unravelled Chaos.